on me.
And you have 10 minutes and check your chat, please. Thank you.
All right. Right. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Albert?
I'm good. Man, this is a year for you. With the Westerns, man. First there was Guns of Redemption, which I saw last month and really enjoyed that one. And now here you are with Gunslingers. And I love the fact that you're bringing the Western hero with a redeeming arc that he has to go through. And Gunslingers, I think, was so much fun to watch. I had a blast watching it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So my first question is, what inspired you to write the film? What was the inspiration behind Gunslingers?
I'd done Dead Man's Hand, and I was asked to do another Western. And so we started researching some themes, Barry Brooker and I, the CEO at Lionsgate, and start talking about what themes we should search, that make great Westerns. And I feel like the theme of the bad guy being good is very popular. You got Unforgiven, Painttown Black, a lot of Eastwood stuff is that way. And so we started developing that kind of idea, and just looking at some older films as well as successful films or lesser known westerns, and looking at their themes. And so it was really kind of just research. I didn't write for probably 3 months after they were like go, and I just researched and watched and wanted to find a traditional story, because Dead Man's Hand was based on a graphic novel with some mythical, and it wasn't the traditional Unforgiven Western, and I really wanted to make that film. And so I think Gunslingers and Guns of Redemption was that homage to those films. So
Yeah. And I also felt Gunslingers was more of a Shakespearean type of motif because you got brother versus brother ultimately in the film. And
yeah, yeah.
and that's what I felt. And I not only just said that, Jeremy told me yesterday when I interviewed him, he also felt that it had this Shakespeare kind of rift where it's, you got the brother seeking redemption, and then you have the brother who's like just, looking out for some sort of revenge, or if you will. And I can't say enough about the cast. This was a phenomenal cast, like so many familiar faces, from Stephen Dorff, Heather Graham, Nicolas Cage. I loved his character, even though it was brief, but I loved the look that he was given with the cross, with the glasses that look like the crosses, and the raspy voice, and Costas Mandalore, and Jeremy Jackson. The phenomenal cast. What was it like with working with them?
Outstanding. It's a dream cast as a director. I mean, you work all your life to build relationships with actors who are of a caliber that help elevate your films, and so to be able to garner that kind of cast in this film, and it was easy too, because there's a lot of people that didn't make the cast that wanted to be in this, familiar faces. And so it was phenomenal just to have that kind of support from everybody, and to have Stephen as the lead. Stephen and I had talked a lot because he'd been supporting in, I think, 3 other films that we had done together, and he's supported support. We had always talked about him being a lead in one of my films. So for him to come in as the lead was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that it's a build up, because you get to see what happened in the beginning of the film. And I thought for sure, like, oh my God, the brother's dead. He got hit. And then we're flash forward 4 years later. And I like the buildup where he's hiding out in his town, and he can't really be out in public because people are gunning for him. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the film, everything just starts picking up, and that's where everything starts going full speed ahead. And I love that. Like, it's kind of like a slow burn up to the bam point. And I thought that was brilliant writing up when it came to that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's important to have people care about the characters. I feel like action is fun to watch. It's even more meaningful when you actually are invested in the story and the characters. So.
Now, I have to ask this: how did you come up with Nicolas Cage's character? Because, like I said, I love the look, and I love like he's given this raspy voice. Like, I loved it. I mean, everyone knows Nicolas Cage can be out there in terms of his performances, but this I absolutely loved. I think this was one of his best performances, even though it was brief. but he did such a great job. How did you come up with that particular character?
That was him and I just spending some time. We had about 2 weeks of prep, which was very short, but he and I were on the phone for 2 weeks talking character. He initially was offered Costas Mandalar's role, and he read the script and came back and said, "No, Ben." He's like, Ben has so many layers, is so interesting." And we started talking about this gun, this cold-blooded gunslinger that had found Jesus, and he just thought that was a great character. And so we started talking about, because that character existed from the start, and he just identified with it. And so we started talking about looks, and he actually had the bowler hat. He brought in one of our Zooms, he pulls out a bowler hat. He's like, "Do you like this?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, the bowler hat's cool. It's different. It's going to set apart your character." Because every character in the film, I was trying to give them a different, different story arcs, and all of them have backstories. I've written, all the backstories were written out, and where they came from and why they're there. And so it was important that all of them had their own individuality, and Cage was definitely one of those. And so the wardrobe gal started sending him looks, and we just worked on building up this character. And he came to me one day and was just like, "I feel like I should have some sort of glasses." And he sent me these modern looking kind of cross glasses that he liked, and I was like, "Those are pretty cool. Let's see if we can make a period set." And so we contacted the production designer, who had them custom made by this great guy Bruce, and Bruce custom made these period glasses for us, and turned out amazing.
Yeah.
And 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 the voice was on the day, honestly. We were in the trailer chatting about his character. He got in the full regalia. He's looking in the mirror and he looks at me and he goes, "I think I need a voice. I think I." He's like, "It's this guy has a voice. It's not this." And so he started pitching me voices, all these different voices he could do, and that was the one we landed on. So
That was awesome. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I think he needs to get some sort of accolade just for playing that role in the film for sure.
thank you. Yeah,
So
man.
how long did shooting take, and did you face any issues during production?
Oh man, 18 days. Shot the lead cast out in about 13 of those 18. Yeah, so it was rough, and we only had 2 weeks of prep. It was very short. The show had a lot of stops and starts. We had another star that was attached who got hurt, couldn't do it anymore. Another star got pregnant. It was just like, is this movie going to go? So I agreed to do Guns of Redemption because I didn't think it was going to go. And then all of a sudden we landed Cage, and Cage was like, "Look, I have Spider-Man Noir. I got 2 weeks. You guys make it work." And so we had to go. And so that was rough. It was rough. I wouldn't do that again on a Western. It was very rough to get a show up and running in 2 weeks. I don't feel like we had the time we needed to do the stunts. We did them safely, but we could have done a lot more if we had more time. And yeah, so it was 18 days total, but rough 18 days. It was tough.
Well, somehow you managed to pull it off because when I spoke to Jeremy, he said his favorite scene was when he walks into the saloon and gives us all these little monologues. And he said that was the best scene he's ever shot because he felt like everyone, he knew what the schedule was, but everyone somehow gelled together. They knew what they were in for. And he says that is his favorite scene. And I totally agree. That's one of the best scenes in the film. And I think that's going to be a breakout role for him, hands down, as this character.
I hope so. He deserves it. He's a phenomenal actor and just a standout kind of guy. Super good.
So what's next for you? Are you going to do another Western down the road, or are you going to try something different?
I've got a lot of things in development. Lionsgate's, we're talking about two other projects: a rodeo show, a movie based on rodeos, bull riding specifically, and then modern day kind of military show, movie. So working on those. In the last 3 weeks, I've been offered, I think, four different movies, a bunch of action stuff. So it's we'll see what's on the horizon, but it'll be cool.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, it's good that you're keeping busy, and I can't wait to see more of your stuff. But in the meantime, everyone check out Gunslingers on April the 11th. A fantastic ensemble cast, a great story that mixes spaghetti western with a little bit of Shakespeare riff into it in terms of the characters. And Brian, man, once again, you just hit a home run with this one, and I can't wait to see what's next from you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, you take care.